The first labor that Hercules was assigned to do was to kill the Nemean lion, a beast with impenetrable golden fur, deadly claws that could tear through any armor. No weapons could wound the beast. He had razor-sharp teeth and a roar that could be heard from the top of Mount Olympus. The lion roamed the hills of Nemea, terrorizing the local population and devouring anyone who dared cross its path. Hercules embarked on his journey to Nemea, where he soon discovered that the lion was not an ordinary beast at all. His arrows could not penetrate its fur, so conventional methods would not work. Hercules decided to confront the lion in its cave. The cave had two entrances. Hercules blocked one of the entrances with a big boulder, trapping the lion inside, and then bravely entered the den through the other opening. He charged through, and the two battled furiously in the confined space, with the lion lunging at Hercules, trying to claw at him. Hercules, using his incredible strength and agility, managed to avoid the lion's attacks, and eventually found an opportunity to grapple the beast, wrapping his arms around its neck, and drawing upon his divine strength, he began to squeeze, and squeeze, and squeeze, tightening his grip. Hercules' strength was too divine, too strong. The lion eventually fell. Hercules required proof of his triumph, but the lion's hide was invulnerable. Hercules struggled to find a way to skin the beast, but after much contemplation, Hercules had an idea. He used the lion's own razor-sharp claws to cut through its impenetrable hide, and he removed the pelts. Now, obviously, this labor showcases Hercules' incredible physical strength, but also his resourcefulness and his determination in the face of seemingly impossible odds. Most importantly for me is his courage. When he blocked one of the entrances from the cave, he trapped the lion and himself inside. There was one way in and one way out, and he walked into a dense cave with a massive lion. Hercules shows no fear in this labor, and also his unique intellect when it comes to fighting big monsters. To add in my take on this labor, with mythology, there is always multiple layers to the story. Sometimes they can be internal struggles within your mind, aspects or challenges that you will find yourself facing, or even aspects of nature, right? Like the solstices, the equinoxes, or the luminaries, or the star constellations changing position. So how I interpret this labor is an internal struggle within himself. I mentioned in the previous video that Hercules' totem could be the lion. And I find it interesting that the first labor is to defeat a lion. The lion is the primal aspect of Hercules. Hercules' dark side, a symbol of his raw emotions that caused him to go into a rage, lose control, and cause evil. Perhaps it's the shadow self. Before Hercules confronts the lion, he could not stop thinking about how he accidentally killed his wife and sons. This is because he could only feel the situation. And of course, right, there is this voice in his head reminding him that he is a bad person and that he should kill himself and he has no self-control and that he is the monster, right? I think that many people can relate to their dark side taking over and causing great harm to their psyche. So what's this look like practically, right? What what's the way to deal with the dark side of your personality? Well, Carl Jung would suggest that you need to absorb it, more or less control it, right? It's the animal part of you. It's your potential for darkness, right? So for me, Hercules goes inside his mind, the cave, and he faces his shadow self, the Nemean lion, right? He can't kill it with a weapon. As such, you cannot kill the shadow self of your mind, right? So he grapples with it, he wrestles, and he chokes it out, grasping it with his bare hands and holding it, right? Until it gives in, until it falls. He is essentially learning to control his emotions. He's learning to control himself, right? Thus, he's becoming less like an animal and more like a human. He is breaking the horse, as it were, right? Breaking the animal parts of his being, right? So that he can, you know, become the strongest version of himself, right? He doesn't want to be this man who loses control and, goes into a rage and just starts killing innocent people, right? Because he's a good man, right? And, as with Hercules, like, there's so many flaws with him. Like, he is seen as like almost like a little bit stupid, and he's seen as a very emotional man. But I think we all start off like that. I think we all start off with not being able to control ourselves, and this is the story of a boy turning into a man, right? Hercules returns with the pelts, and from the gates, Eurystheus, surprised and a bit cautious, because he did not think that Hercules was going to come back, right? He thought this labor was like, Hercules is done for after this. Like, the Nemean lion cannot be stopped. Nobody has stopped him before. And so Eurystheus, surprised and a bit cautious, he gives his orders from afar. And thus, the second labor is assigned to Hercules. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Work hard and make your ancestors proud. Peace.